Hello everyone. I hope you're doing well this week. Well, just one church detail. We've had worship services the last 3 Sundays and things have gone well, and I appreciate those of you who are able to come, and we're glad that those of you who can't come are able to worship with us via our live stream. We're continuing to work on that. But I was going to say this Sunday we are having a church picnic after the worship service. Holly Powell, our hospitality director, is putting together all the details, and it's going to be a fun time, and of course we're going to do what we can to make sure everybody is safe and well. But one more step towards normality, and we're excited about that. Well, what a tragic week this has been. Our poor country, as we see the scenes in city after city, quite distressing, and of course this right on the heels of the COVID pandemic and the economic and social repercussions from that. And my intent in these weekly addresses is to be encouraging. I've called this the Midweek Encouraging Word, and of course there are all sorts of thoughts I have about the church and politics and our responsibilities and so forth. None of that's very encouraging. But how can I encourage you in this time? Well, I want to read you a passage of Scripture from Jeremiah 29. This is the encouraging word. And let me set the stage for this passage. The people of Israel had been exiled to Babylon, and that's where they were living, in Babylon in exile. Now let's just think about that for a minute. There's a sense in which that reflects our reality. As Christians, we, in a sense, are living in exile. This world is not our home. Christ's eternal kingdom is our home. His kingdom is here, but it's not yet here in its fulfillment. We are in this world, but we're not of this world. We are citizens of worldly nations and kingdoms, but our true citizenship lies in heaven, and that's where we are awaiting and what we're looking forward to. So this is a word that Jeremiah the prophet spoke to the exiles, but I want you to see that it is a word for us as well, that in a sense we're in exile. Let me read it to you, and then I'm going to kind of apply it to us and our situation as American citizens. This is what the Lord Almighty, the God of Israel, says to all those I carried into exile from Jerusalem to Babylon. Build houses and settle down, plant gardens and eat what they produce, marry and have sons and daughters, find wives for your sons and give your daughters in marriage, so that they too may have sons and daughters. Increase in number there, do not decrease. Also seek the peace and prosperity of the city to which I have carried you into exile. Pray to the Lord for it, because if it prospers, you too will prosper. And then a little bit later, there's that famous verse, I know the plans I have for you to prosper you and so forth. Here's where I want to apply this to our time right now as Americans and as Christians in this particular moment, and that is that God calls us to be good citizens of the country in which He's placed us, and particularly that means to be productive and to enter into life and society and civic life with one another, and especially to pray for the prosperity of the city. And in this case, it would be, we could apply that to America. Pray for its prosperity, pray for its peace. And God says, as He grants that, we too will enjoy prosperity and peace. And so I simply want to encourage you in this Midweek Encouraging Word to carry out and be faithful in this important priestly role that we have as Christians, and that is to pray for our country, to pray for peace, to pray that the rifts between the races would be healed, to pray for those who are in leadership, or pray especially for those who are in legislatures who will be passing laws and thinking of ways to change things that need to be changed, to pray for governors and those in executive roles who have important duties to perform. Let's remember to pray for the peace and prosperity of the city, and trust that God will hear our prayers and use that for the good of this country that we love. Well, I'll see you on the Lord's Day, June 7th. We're going to worship again together. We're studying the Lord's Prayer. Goodbye. Have a great evening. God bless you.